Have you ever paused in the middle of your day and quietly wondered, am I still doing okay for my age? Not by comparing yourself to anyone else, not to a neighbor, not to a memory from your younger years, but by honestly asking your body and your mind if they still carry you with dignity. If that question ever crosses your mind, this message is for you. Because what most people forget is that growing older is not simply about what you've lost, it's about what you've kept. And sometimes, keeping even just one simple ability can quietly mean the difference between just aging and aging well. In this video, we're not measuring youth by years, but by strength, clarity, and the quiet power of independence. If you can still stand up without your hands, balance on one foot, climb a flight of stairs, carry your groceries, read with focus, or sleep deeply through the night, even just one of them, you're doing far better than the world may realize. And if something has slipped, don't worry. You can build it back. Stay with me because each moment we explore could help you protect your strength, your freedom, and your peace. And before we begin, if this resonates with you, tap subscribe and share your story below. I'd love to hear how you're still winning. Sometimes the smallest things we do without thinking are the ones that matter the most. You sit down to read the newspaper, finish your tea or chat with a friend, and when it's time to stand up, you just do it. But if you're able to rise from a chair without pushing off with your hands, without shifting awkwardly forward, without that little moment of hesitation, then you're holding on to something truly powerful. This simple movement, quiet and overlooked, is a quiet marker of balance, strength, and self-reliance. It tells a deeper story than most people realize. Being able to rise smoothly doesn't just involve your legs, it means your core is still stable, your coordination still intact, and your nervous system still sharp enough to guide your body in harmony. Many people lose this without even noticing, until one day they can't get up from the couch without leaning hard or calling for help. But if you still can, even just from your favorite kitchen chair or living room sofa, you are doing better than you think. This isn't about fitness or athleticism, it's about holding on to your quiet independence. For older adults especially, after 70, every unassisted stand is a statement. I still move on my own terms, and that matters. Because once this ability fades, so much else follows. The freedom to live alone comfortably, to go to the bathroom safely, to move confidently around your home. That's why protecting this movement is not just a nice to have, it's essential. And the beauty of it is you don't need a gym membership or fancy equipment to maintain it. A sturdy chair and 3 minutes each morning can become your personal training ground for autonomy. Sit down slowly, cross your arms over your chest and rise slowly, steadily. Even if it's tough at first, the effort is worth it. Because standing without help is more than a physical task. It's an act of quiet strength, a message from your body saying, I'm still capable. So if you're 65, 70 or 80 and can still do this, even once, even slowly, you're not just staying active. You're honoring your independence, your daily wisdom, and your quiet resilience. And that, in every sense of the word, means you're winning at life. There's a quiet kind of courage that comes from simply feeling steady in your own body. After we've talked about the strength it takes to rise from a chair without help, it's only natural to reflect on what it means to stay upright when the world shifts beneath your feet. Being able to stand on one foot, even for just 10 seconds, might sound like a small thing. But for someone in their 70s or 80s, it reveals something much deeper than muscle. It reflects how well your brain and body still communicate, how sharp your inner sense of balance remains, and how confident you feel in your own movements. Losing balance doesn't happen all at once. It disappears in moments. A hesitation stepping off a curb, a stumble while reaching for a drawer, a quiet fear that makes you stop walking as much. And when balance fades, fear often takes its place. And fear, more than anything, steals independence. But if you can still lift one foot, stand still, breathe, and trust yourself for even a short moment, then you've kept hold of something precious. That moment of steadiness means your body is still aligned with your will, your nervous system still sharp, and your posture still grounded. Balance in this stage of life isn't just a physical trait, it's a kind of quiet dignity. It tells the world, and more importantly yourself, that you're still in control, still capable of moving through the day on your own terms. And the beauty is, this ability doesn't have to slip away. You can rebuild it, 1 second at a time. Maybe it starts beside the kitchen counter, while waiting for the kettle to boil. Maybe it becomes a habit while brushing your teeth or standing in line. No equipment needed, just your breath, your patience, and a soft kind of determination. Every second you stand steady is 1 second you stand free. And if you still have that even today, then that's not just good news. It's a quiet, remarkable victory. Balance isn't just about preventing a fall. It's about living with confidence, moving without fear, and trusting your body to carry you safely into whatever's next. And that too means you're still winning. There's something deeply symbolic about taking one step after another, upward, steady, without needing to stop. After grounding ourselves in strength and balance, we now move to another quiet ability. That speaks volumes, the power to climb a flight of stairs without having to pause midway. It might not seem like much to someone who takes movement for granted, but to those who've lived through decades of wear and tear, surgeries, stiffness, or fatigue, this ability becomes something sacred. When you can still take the stairs without gasping, without grabbing the railing halfway, it means your heart is still working with rhythm. Your lungs still hold endurance, and your legs, though they may not be as quick, still carry determination. More than that, it means you haven't surrendered to the slow shrinking of your world. You haven't confined yourself to one floor, one corner, one chair. You still move between spaces, still live across your home, still allow yourself to access all the places where your life unfolds. So many older adults, not because they can't, but because they haven't tried, slowly stop using the stairs. And when they do, the body follows. The muscles weaken, the breath shortens, and eventually, a single step feels like a climb. But if you're someone who still climbs, even slowly, even carefully, you're preserving something beyond just physical strength. You're preserving access to your independence, to your daily rhythm, to the full layout of your life. It doesn't matter if it's one flight or half a dozen steps to the porch. Each time you choose to climb instead of avoid, you are choosing movement over stillness, participation over passivity. And that choice, repeated over time, shapes not just your body but your spirit. Let every stair you take remind you that you're still moving, still trying, still showing up to your own life. And if you've kept this ability, even with a slower pace and a gentler breath, know this: your endurance is still alive within you. In a world that often measures worth by youth and speed, your quiet persistence is far more impressive. And that persistence is yet another sign that you are, in the most important ways, still winning. There's a kind of quiet strength in the way we carry things, not just the weight in our hands, but the responsibilities, the routines, the small tasks that make up a meaningful day. As we move forward, let's pause and notice something so ordinary we rarely acknowledge it. Your ability to carry a full grocery bag across the parking lot, from the car to the kitchen, without needing to stop or shift the weight too many times. It's one of those movements that tells a story deeper than anyone watching would realize. If you can still do this, what it really means is that your grip is steady, your shoulders are holding firm, your back is supporting you, and your steps are still aligned with your intention. For older adults, especially those past 70, this is more than just a physical act. It's a marker of function, freedom, and daily readiness. You're still able to engage with your world actively. You can walk into a store, pick what you need, and bring it home on your own terms. That kind of independence often begins to slip without warning. You don't notice it the first time you set the bag down halfway or avoid buying heavier items. But over time, these tiny hesitations become patterns, and those patterns slowly reshape your life. The truth is, you don't need to lift heavy weights or go to the gym to preserve this ability. You just need to keep doing what life already invites you to do. Carry what matters, and carry it with care. Even filling a cloth bag at home with books or water bottles, walking a short distance and placing it down gently, helps your body remember what it means to move with purpose. The strength it takes to carry a bag is the same strength that lets you pick up your grandchild, hold onto the railing, or lift yourself out of bed. It may not look impressive on the outside, but for those who understand aging not as decline but as refinement, it is a quiet triumph. So if your hands can still hold weight, If your arms and legs still work together in rhythm, then you haven't just kept your strength, you've kept your way of living. And that, in every possible way, is something to be deeply proud of. As we move from the physical into the mental, let's take a moment to honor something that doesn't require strong legs or steady hands, but reveals just as much about your inner vitality. The ability to sit down, open a book, and read for a full hour without drifting off, getting distracted, or growing restless is no small thing. In fact, it might be one of the strongest signs that your mind is still clear, focused, and fully engaged with life. When you're over 65, especially past 70, attention span is often the first quiet signal of how the brain is aging. And yet, if you're someone who still gets absorbed in the pages of a novel, who remembers characters, who reflects on what you've read, then your mental resilience is not only intact, but thriving. In a world filled with fast content and constant noise, your ability to stay present in one task is rare. It's not just about memory, it's about presence, emotional regulation, and intellectual clarity. Each time you choose to read rather than scroll, to concentrate rather than skim, you are building something inside that cannot be taken away by time. That hour with a book is not just leisure, it's quiet mental training, a form of longevity that goes deeper than any crossword puzzle or memory game. And what's beautiful is that it doesn't matter what you read, fiction, history, devotionals, or even the local newspaper. What matters is that you're still choosing to learn, to think beyond the moment. Many younger people have lost that ability. They flit from screen to screen, never sitting with a thought long enough to understand it. But if you, at 70 or 75 or even 85, can still lose yourself in the rhythm of words, then you are not just staying sharp, you are staying deeply human. So if you find yourself turning the pages, absorbed in the story, fully there in your chair, know that you are doing something many cannot. You are keeping your mind alive, your curiosity burning, and your sense of connection to the world wide open. And that kind of quiet focus is not ordinary. It's a reflection of elder wisdom and a clear sign that you're still winning. And now we come to something less visible, but perhaps more powerful than all the others, a gift many overlook until it's gone, the ability to sleep through the night, naturally and deeply, without needing pills or restless tossing. If you can still close your eyes and wake up hours later feeling refreshed, your body is doing something extraordinary. Because after 65, uninterrupted sleep becomes rare. Many find themselves waking every 2 hours, shifting in discomfort, checking the clock or lying awake in the quiet dark, trying to coax their mind back into rest. But deep, healing sleep is where restoration truly happens. It's the time when your brain clears out toxins, when your heart slows to repair itself, when hormones reset, and emotions find balance again. It is not just sleep, it is renewal. And if your body still knows how to surrender to that, without chemical help, you are preserving one of the most important foundations of health. Good sleep affects everything: your memory, your energy, your immune system, even your ability to regulate mood and appetite. And more than that, it gives you clarity, patience, and strength to move through your day with steadiness. For those who can still rest deeply, there is no need to boast. The reward is felt in the morning, in the calm breath, the steady feet. On the floor, the sense that your mind is not racing ahead or dragging behind. It's not just about how many hours you spend in bed. It's about whether those hours actually restore you. If they do, then your body and mind are still working in harmony, still protecting you from the inside out. Of course, it doesn't come from luck alone. Often it comes from quiet discipline, no bright screens late at night, a cool and quiet bedroom, a gentle rhythm to the evening. But if you have it, if you still drift off easily and stay asleep, you hold a powerful kind of strength that can't be bought. It is your reward for how you've cared for yourself, even in small ways, and it's something to be deeply grateful for. Because in a world where many chase energy from coffee or medication, your energy comes from within. And that, in itself, is a quiet victory worth honoring. As we come to the end of this reflection, take a quiet moment to look inward, not with judgment, but with gentle awareness. If you're between 65 and 80, and still able to do even just one of these 6 things: stand up without using your hands, balance on one foot, climb a flight of stairs, carry a grocery bag, read with full attention, or sleep through the night, without interruption, you're doing better than most realize. You're not behind, you're not fading. You're holding on to something rare, the ability to live on your own terms. These everyday movements and habits may seem small, but they are strong signs of healthy aging, mental resilience, and preserved independence. And if any of these abilities have grown harder with time, that doesn't mean it's too late. It simply means your body is inviting you to begin again, gently, patiently, with trust in its wisdom. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to keep going. Every step, every page, every night of good rest matters. I invite you to share your story in the comments below. What's one ability you're proud to still have? Your experience might inspire someone else. And if this message spoke to something deep inside you, then carry that feeling forward. Because even one small strength, well kept, means you're still truly winning at life.